Hi, my name is Jay Oza. I coach people win with their speeches. I hope you're learning from many of these speech tips videos that I'm recording. And if you ever have a high stakes speech to give, let me know. I want to talk about people out there who are watching this who want to become a confident speaker and they're kind of frustrated. They're finding it hard, it's time consuming, and it can be quite frustrating. I know it, I've been there, and I'm still go through that. The one thing that you need to understand, which I don't think people ever really explain it, is this word called feedback. Feedback. You gotta get good feedback. Everybody knows that. The question is how? How do you get good feedback? Let me tell you, that's where the problem is. It's hard to get good feedback. If I were you, I would first learn how to give yourself feedback. Don't count on others. What they're going to give you often is, especially if they don't know anything about public speaking, they don't give speeches, is not feedback. They're going to give their opinions. Now, they're entitled to their opinions, but that doesn't help you. To give good feedback, you not only have to know the speaker well, you need to know the speaker's abilities well, but you need to know the audience really well. And let me tell you, most people who give feedback don't know any of that. And as a result, the feedback is absolutely useless. Opinions are great, but that doesn't help you. The thing to do is, if you ever want to get a feedback for somebody that you trust, you already want to do all the work for them and say, okay, how would you improve this? That makes the person do more work, and most likely they're not going to do the work. So you might say, well, what if I hire somebody to give me feedback? Now, that's a tricky part here. I've done this. That doesn't work either. Or you're going to run out of money at some point, because people who charge you a lot, they are supposed to be experts, but the amount of time they're going to have to spend to give you a really useful feedback is going to be a lot, and I don't think you can afford it unless you are an executive who can dole out $10,000 to $20,000 to help you get that one-on-one coaching. Most of us don't have that kind of money, and I don't think you need that kind of money. I think the skill you need to develop is learn to give yourself the best feedback. You know yourself, you know the audience, and just put yourself into a mode. Let me look at the speaker and give that speaker a feedback, which is you in this case. I'll give you an example of what makes people very successful, whether it's in life or business or whatever, is that they get feedback very early in life. You look at some of the famous athletes like Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, or even outside athletics, academic, you have kids who have tiger moms. What separates these people is two things. Very early on, they're being coached by somebody who's so much better than them. Like Tiger Woods' father was a very good golfer. I believe he was a scratch golfer. Now, if you're young and a scratch golfer is teaching you, that is amazing. That's a big gap. You don't need a professional coach teaching you when you're starting out. That's an overkill. Same thing with Serena Williams. Her father was an excellent tennis player, and he was able to coach her. So what they did early on were two things. They provided them coaching, training, but the most important was they got instant feedback. Instant. They did not have to go weekly to a coach and get the feedback then and then come back and then wait another week. A lot of us who are really serious end up doing that because our parents, let's face it, are just not that good in any of the sports that we're interested in. And in sometimes in academics, same thing. They're working, they're busy, they don't have time, so you don't get that immediate instant feedback and the training. And that makes a tremendous difference. So if you ever look at Tiger Woods, he had perfected his swing very early on. By the time he was a teenager, he was winning a lot. His father was playing, he's getting that instant feedback. And remember, his father's a scratch golfer. For Tiger Woods, I think he said The first time he ever beat his father was when he was a teenager, and he advanced pretty quickly. He was able to beat his father when he was 13 or something like that. That's amazing to beat a scratch golfer at that age. So just imagine that he brought him up to the point where he got to the point where Tiger Woods can now beat his father. At that point, the father can't help him much. Father can still give him different kind of feedback, but not technical feedback. At that point, the father had hired coaches to help him specifically with certain aspect of the game, and that's why he became such a great, one of the greatest golfers of all time. And the same thing happened with Serena Williams. She became one of the great tennis players of all time. And that's what happens with a lot of kids who have Tiger moms who are constantly training them, teaching them, and then providing feedback. And obviously, at some point, they get into high school. The kids then get passed on to other experts who can then take them to the next level. And that's kind of what you have to do when it comes to public speaking. You have to become that Tiger speaker, or whatever you want to call it, Tiger speaker, I guess, and coach yourself, teach yourself, and even provide the feedback. And at some point, you're going to become so good that you will know exactly the kind of help you need from a coach that'll help you make it incrementally make you improve. Because you're going to have to, at some point, you're going to be very good, by the way, and you'll only hire a coach if you want to take it to the next level. That's when you would get a coach and you would pay the money. At that point, you already identified the area that you need to work on. You don't need a complete feedback. You just need the feedback on this one specific thing. Maybe it's humor, maybe it's telling stories, maybe it's movement on the stage. Those are very specific things. Those are something so specific that an expert can really make a big difference. That's what I would recommend you get a professional coach. But generally speaking, it's not going to be that useful. In fact, you'd be wasting a lot of money. This is my opinion. This is what I have experienced personally, and I just wanted to pass that on to you because a lot of people out there get frustrated, and the key thing that you need to really work on is start learning how to give yourself the best feedback possible. And if you do that, you're going to improve. Let me know what you think. And thank you for watching.